We're looking at about 140, 137 degrees temperature, which is really nice. The firebox itself is warm, but it's nowhere near hot, and it's not soft. The screws are warm, but they're not pulling out of the threads, so we're not boiling anything. I don't have my chuff mechanism because I'm too stupid to get it done faster, but I do have a little switch here so I can show you what a puff looks like. This is at 12.5 volts through the regulator, coming off of 15 volts at the track. So I'm going 15 AC to 12 DC to the 12.5 DC to the heater core, and I'm getting 140 degrees, which is plenty. 120 should do it. And I think we've got the smoke thing, and we would have a nice plume of reasonable smoke. And this is all with the conventional controller. This is not digital. So if you want to increase the smoke, you got to take it apart and diddle with the pot, and then you run the risk of overheating things, which worries me. So I'm going to keep that regulator in place. I found a good price for them, and hope they're good parts. But the box itself, I think, is now, I'm going to call it done. We got a heater. It's 39 ohms. You know, if I could find 37, I'd probably take it just to get a tad more. But I had the 30s in there, and they were just too hot. And so I'm gonna keep my eye out. But I feel pretty good about where we are with the 39s for safety, at any rate. The little fan motor's not hot at all. And they got the adapter for the conventional Flyer engines. This boiler look I really like. I'm gonna turn this off now. The boiler look I really like. We're going to have to flatten it out. There's some of the engines require this nose to be thin, and we can't use this fat nose. But I'm going to keep the round at top, and I'm going to try to get some rivets and straps and make it look like part of a boiler that has flat sides. Okay, but I got the smoke in. I got all the parts fit. This was my printing off of my printer with the new firmware, which has been doing just beautifully, printing every day 2 or 3 parts a day for different various pieces. So anyway, this is my test fixture. The next one, I got another board. Okay, these are 2 of the Chuff. This is the Lionel Chuff, and this is the Carl Tuvison Chuff. This is the one he's going to let me use, so I'll be able to get that as we go forward. I'm going to turn off some of my sensors here and then go over and show you where that is. If I can get them off, I don't know. Yeah, I got them. So that's that. I've been doing some milling over there, but you don't need to see that. Here I am printing a new housing, and I think the thing to look at is how clean the print model is. It's like pretty. It's coming out nice and thin. I've been printing some parts for my printer. That's a way to guide the hose. This is another way to guide the hose. I've got some other parts I'm going to fool with later on. But what I've been working on is this baby. Trying to get this gear end the right way. I've got to work on shimming, spacing the gear out on the sides. I got to come up with switches. I found switches. It's this size of switch. I think I'm going to have it hanging with the lever down and have it hang like right there. And I'm going to bring this plastic out on the outside so it would screw in from the outside, and it would hang there, and it would have little pins or something that would trigger it. Doesn't take much of a trigger at all to get it to go, much motion really. It's right there, on and off. That's the motion right there. That's the difference. So it's very, I can back it way up and still get the trigger in. So don't need a big ramp or anything like that. I did print the new gear, and there it is, and it's been working really well, I have to say. Let me see if I can give you a little quickie here with one hand. I think I can. There you are. I'll see if I need to hold it some way. If you can watch that. I'm rotating the motor shaft and that gear. Yeah, as soon as I say it, right? As soon as I say it. Works just fine. It does, truly. It does, truly it does. I can't hold everything in one hand, but it does work. It works really good. We've had a lot of fun moving that around and counting the motions and whatnot. What I'm working on now is the mount for these. I've got to get a little more material out here so I can screw these in and hold them in the right place. And then I'll be ready to put this on the engine. I only have one of those tiny little screws. I brought my wallet down so I could order the right ones. Here's the right ones. I found them online. You can see here they have solder terminals, 2mm openings, and the one I want to get is this guy, which has a nice radius. It looks like a cam roller, but it's not. And as you can see, it's 12.7 millimeters, and that's the one I needed. So it's a nice small one, normally opened, normally closed, and the common is at the top. So if it hangs down, I'm probably going to use these two top ones, so that when it triggers, when it hits a bump, boom, it's going to fire the smoke and the sound. The way to do that, I want separate signals. I'm going to have two of these right here. So we're working on the brackets and the spacing so I can have two of them. I tried to design that gear the way I needed it, but I had a little problem. It actually came out about twice as big as it was supposed to. So back to the drawing board on that. I'll turn that over to my engineering team to figure that out maybe. But at any rate, we're getting close. I wanted to get this done today, and I just can't do it. It's already 4:30. I don't have time. I only have an hour left. I don't think I'm going to get the pieces I need done to put this on, but if I do, I'll make a video. But it looks like tomorrow for sure. And then I'll go back to my demo over here, my little prototype board. I'll mount everything in here and wire in these chuff triggers, and we should then see the whole thing running in automatic, chuffing and puffing all at the same time. That should be cool. Then the second board is going to have the digital Lionel TMCC controller instead of the conventional controller, and it has a sort of a built-in conditioner for the heat signal, so I get to do away with this guy, and I'll have the TMCC running the same sound, and it has its own, it'll have to have a trigger as well, so I'll choose one of those and put that in, and it'll have a different engine. I'm going to use one that is a non-smoke. This was a previous smoke engine, or could have been anyway. So I'm using that adapter for the vintage. So anyway, I'm going to post this on YouTube, and then you guys can see it. All right, later, gang. We're close. We're getting close.